Peter, let's talk a little bit now about post-event, post-race, post-workout. What kind of things should I be consuming at this point?
Well, a lot of people think that the moment you finish your workout or your race, it's sort of your liberty to consume anything you want. And I can understand why people think that. You've worked really hard. You've probably just burned a whole bunch of calories. By all means, you should have that pizza and beer. And every once in a while, you probably should. But if you're asking the question, what should I eat after a training session or a race to optimize me for the next training session, the question really then becomes one of how do you refuel your glycogen tank in the most efficient way possible. So let's think of it more from a training standpoint as opposed to a competing cycle. So you've just finished a 3-hour workout, you have another one tomorrow. What's the right thing to do? Well, remember, if you've just finished a 3-hour workout, your glycogen tanks aren't going to be full. No matter how metabolically efficient you are going to have a glycogen deficit. Let's call it a 50% deficit. The most important thing you can do in the moments you finish that workout, and probably within 30 to 90 minutes, are start ingesting a little bit of carbohydrate again so that you can refuel that tank. Now, at that moment in time, your body is preferentially looking to refuel that tank. The choice of carbohydrate you make does matter, though. There is some evidence that hepatic or liver glycogen is best refueled in that state using fructose over glucose. And that's why some people do choose to use a fructose-based formulation over glucose. My personal belief is that while that might be true, it actually comes with a negative side effect that far outweighs the benefit, which is most people tend to overshoot how much glycogen they're putting in their system, glycogen replacement. And fructose, in my mind, is a very bad actor, because while you may need 200 calories worth of fructose to fill what's remaining in your liver stores, anything you go above and beyond that, almost without exception, gets turned into fatty acids, gets exported as very low density lipoprotein. This becomes a health consequence. It goes on. We're talking about raising your blood pressure, increasing, your likelihood of getting gout, all sorts of things. So I prefer, if I'm going to refuel, to use a more complex carbohydrate that is a breakdown into a glucose product that's going to just touch up the tanks. But again, the mistake a lot of people make here, Mike, is they believe that their deficit is this big and they have an infinite glycogen tank, and they don't. And remember, every little bit you overshoot gets turned into fat. We can't store carbohydrates beyond those very small, limited supplies of glycogen.
So generally the rule is stick to the complex carbohydrates, that is. And is the 30-minute window that I've heard referenced, is that something we need to pay attention to?
A little bit. I would say the following. We do know that the efficiency or speed with which you begin to reassemble glycogen does decrease over time once you start exercising, but I wouldn't certainly suggest that if you're eating within an hour, you've lost your ability to make up glycogen.
Good stuff. Thank you very much.